rising. Good day to you folks. Fam bam. See that beautiful moon right there? Look at that. That was the pink moon. We're crossing over. We're crossing over. The sun is rising. We got the moon still popping. We know that the full moon means more. It's going to be the middle of the day. I mean, middle of the month. We know that the full moons mean it's the middle of the month based off Enoch. But fam bam, I want to talk about how PSYOPs is taking place. Psychological operations are taking place. We know a lot is going on in the media, but make no mistake about it. Prophecy is at hand. Prophecy is at hand, all right? So let's break down psychological warfare, PSYOPs, in which is used in military operations. Psychological warfare, aka PSYOPs, is the use of propaganda, fear tactics, and misinformation to influence a population's emotions, motives, and behaviors. It's not always loud or violent. Most of it is subtle. Through media, politics, music, news, and even AI, it's about programming how people think and react. So, with that, recent headlines within the past few weeks or months are orchestrated to trigger emotional reactions, distractions, divisions, confusion. Make no mistake about it. Psychological operations, how psychological warfare takes place all the time. To persuade folks, to persuade the people how things are, in their emotions towards things, and in reference to something that's going to be taking place on a greater scale, right? So, make no mistake about it. That's what's being at hand right now. Okay. We know that the true Israel is being awakened. We know that. We know that these are the end times, right? And that as the Israel is being awakened and then being summoned, fear sets in for those who've been in charge for 400 plus years. We know that. Okay? Now, if you've been living under a rock, then maybe that's news. But we know that we're being awakened and summoned. The Most High is doing his thing. Make no mistake about it. Now, we got the Civil War that's being taken place right now. And people like, well, Civil War, well, not really. Well, there is a Civil War. If the PSYOPs is being at hand, especially with what's going on, I mean, it's a war. And preparation for the next move. All right. But War isn't going on. The silent war has been taking place. Okay, even though we're not, a lot of people not shooting, bang bang, going back and forth. We're not talking about like civil war like back in the day. We're talking about the new type of civil war. Okay, which is a major spiritual war. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking to my dog. Stop. Chill out. She wants to play. She's been stuck in the house all night while I was driving, getting the fam bam situated, parents and stuff. Stop. She wants to play. I'm gonna knock. You stop, conehead. She's a terrier, so she likes to look at her. You on camera, looking crazy. Watch this. What's up? What's up? See, you better not bite me. She wants to play rough. Terriers are not for everybody. You gotta have a certain stronghold, certain demeanor, and be the leader of the pack. They're strong dogs with a lot of energy. So you got to be able to basically capture that and tone that down. Hey, Stinky, come here. You want to get wet? I know you don't want to get in that water. Conehead, look at her. You better be good. You hear me? You're getting all wet. Yeah, that's you. Is that a froggy? Will you stop? Can I talk? I got you. I got you. Chill out. But yeah, make no mistake about it. War is taking place, and things will continue to heat up. The whole point is to keep the true Israel down as long as possible, all the way into the end. Even when it's our time, keep them down till the end. See, Most High is the only one that's going to be able to make things happen. When he taps Michael, the archangel, on the shoulder and be like, hey, it's time. Go get my people. Then we'll know. And everybody will know. Because it's going to be very, very clear. And those times are approaching sooner than later. Okay? See, people think we still have time to do X, Y, and Z. But as you can see, we're already, half of the year in? We're half of the year in already. This year's been flying. And the Lord says, Most High, as the time of his return is coming back, or is coming up, the time will spin up faster. So things are like moving like clock, like boom, boom, boom. They're like, man, you think back in the day you didn't have time to do everything or have time to do much. These days are flying. And you know it, you feel it, right? But again, This is about keeping the true people, the true Israel down. Okay? And chaos is being taking place everywhere to knock people off of the truth. But you gotta stay grounded. You gotta stay prayed up. Okay? Don't be moved. And you gotta know when that time comes to stand your ground all the way for the Most High. It's better to do that than to let go and be at hand with the system, okay? No matter what. The Most High is going to have the last say so regardless. These people think they're in charge. They think they have time. They know they don't have time. That's why they're doing the things that they're doing. You get what I'm saying? They know they ain't got the time. They know that. And the fear sets in because they no longer have control of of the society's system X, Y, and Z. Regardless of all the trades being taken place, regardless of everything is being taken place, they know they don't have the time. So they're stirring the pot, stirring things up. You know, keep them separated, keep them divided. You know, but the Gentiles, Esau has had their reign. That time is over. Okay? We are now the head and not the tail. We are not the tail, we are the head. Believe that. Understand that. Let me see something. So a lot of things are taking place. There's a few scriptures that tie into this, especially when it comes to the fear-based media around immigration, war, and crime. The racial narratives being twisted and manipulated, distractions from economic collapse and moral decay. A few of those scriptures are Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. 2nd Esdras 6:9 in the Apocrypha. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay? PSYOPs, it benefits those who are trying to stay in power. Again, stay grounded. Stay grounded. So, even with the world systems that are trying to, even with the world systems that we know that we've been living in and our ancestors were living in, we know that the system was built to keep the Israelites at the bottom. Everybody was tied in. Everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. To keep us down. Especially with the things that are taking place, and they're like, you know, you got a lot of, you know, whether it's a lot of Hispanics being kicked, you know, removed, kicked out, deported, right? And they're like, well, why? Why this? Why that? And it's just a lot of confusion. Like, hey, we built these communities, X, Y, and Z. Like, how are we the ones being deported? Well, agreements were made. Your forefathers made agreements that you're unfortunately having to pay for. And you're like, well, these are the new times. This is the new day. Yeah, but contracts were made. You know, growing up, I mean, I've always dealt with all types of cultures. Always. But I had a lot of good folks I've been around, whether different Indian tribes, Mexican Americans, if you will, all types of cultures I've been able to be around, especially being around the military. But I've witnessed a lot of, like most black people, I've witnessed a lot of racism, right? And you can feel it, even if it's not necessarily being said X, Y, and Z, but you can just feel it, you know, and you know that. And I've had a lot of good folks take care of me, and I appreciate them. But at the same time, I can blatantly see the racism in a lot of people. Like, I remember one time I was in high school? Middle school, 8th grade, about to go to high school. And I was thinking about, I was talking to this girl, but you could tell I don't know, I think she was Mexican and Puerto Rican, but you could tell her, just by her demeanor. I mean, she was like, we can't date. Like, I like you a lot, but we can't date, cause why? The father was like, hell no, you ain't dating no black boy. You know what I'm saying? And that happens so often, like, in so many, in a lot of Hispanic cultures, they're like, you ain't dating no black dude. Why? Because contracts were being made. That demeanor towards black people have passed down generation to generation. And even today, people are like, hey, you know, they try to throw the lazy spectacle on us about, like, hey, black people are lazy. You guys are doing this. We did that. We built this X, Y, and Z. But, like, hold on, pause. The system was built to keep us down. Do you understand that? So what you know of how certain things that you've seen, maybe probably haven't seen or just heard of or just went along with, when we talk about psyops, we're talking about music, X, Y, and Z. Look how the music's been portrayed throughout the past 30 years. Hip-hop, especially with hip-hop, they gear it towards this violence. They gear it towards X, Y, and Z, disrespect, X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm a DJ, bro. I've seen this stuff firsthand, and it's like, you know, working with a lot of artists is like, dude, and just being in the hood, you know, growing up, being in the hood, like, you see it clear as day. But I've been able to see both sides, so it's been more clear to me because I've been in the hood, but also been around standard military family areas, so I can see the difference even just in that. A lot of that is still in the hood, but still you can see the difference. Like, hey, this hood is like this, but if you go suburbs, it's like this. Like, why is it like that? Why are we there? A lot of questions, you know, a lot of black folk have a lot of questions, X, Y, and Z over time, but the whole point was to create a system to keep us down. That's why a lot of artists once they sign contracts, they have to agree to certain things. And hey, that's just what it is. You sign that contract, you got to keep it down. So that's why a lot of people who were trying to come out with, you know, and talk about a lot of different things, Old Dirty Bastard, a whole bunch of different artists, like their peers. You know who they are. You know who you are. Their peers would be like, don't say that shit. Don't do that. They watching. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. But psychological warfare has been taking place, especially on black people, for a long time. But the racism, XYZ, goes way back. Talking about us being lazy, no, man. Understand, we built these lands. We've built. Who you think built all this? Who built Egypt? Who built the new modern Egypt? Who built this system? This system, this country is built on the backs of so-called black, the true Israelites, but so-called black people. And it's insane. My ancestors built these lands. You get what I'm saying? Like, so what you know from what you experienced or whatnot through social media or whatever it may be throughout your life, like that don't necessarily mean that's all there is. No. Things came before that. Your forefathers came up to agreements to keep the black people down. And that's every culture who is not the Israelites. To keep the black people down, keep them, keep disruption in their lives, and ensure that they stay at the bottom. But the Most High already said, like, you would be punished for a certain amount of time, especially these past 400 years and centuries before that, X, Y, and Z, because this is not the first time that we were being punished, right? This is not the first time we were being punished. This past 400 years. No. We've been hard-headed people. We are the most stiff-necked people. And the Most High has punished us. But he has a covenant with us. So that covenant is like, hey, the switch will be made at a certain time, and that switch is here. So what you're experiencing right now, what you're seeing right now, is that switch. We are going from the tail to the head. So the only way you're going to survive is to cling to his people. If you're not true Hebrew, just because you're black don't mean that you're Hebrew. I have a lot of good African friends, good people, but at the end of the day, they'll tell you, like, you're not African, bro. The Americas is our indigenous lands, and a lot of other places around the world. But Turtle Island, Mexico, as we know it, United States, Canada, Turtle Island, like, these are our lands. And they're like, they're quick to say, yeah, go back to Africa. Like, no, bro, we're not from Africa, and the Africans know that. Okay, they know that. They'll be quick to tell you. And I got a lot of good friends from a lot of different countries in Africa. Okay, and they'll those people that I know, they'll definitely they'll take care of you, but they'll let you know you ain't African. So, and even with the Africans, they're like, hey, you got to understand how it's broken down. As I mentioned in videos before, you have the sons of Noah, Japheth, Ham, and Shem. We are the people of Shem, the true Hebrews. Europeans, X, Y, Z from Japhet, and then Ham, Africans, okay? And you have to understand that the whole point is to keep the people of Shem down. Because we are the true chosen ones, and that jealousy is real. That jealousy and hate against us is real, okay? So make no mistake about it, what's being taken place. So, you know, don't be discouraged, okay? Stay grounded, regardless of who may say what. It don't matter these days. It don't matter. It never mattered anyway. But especially these times, stay focused on the Most High and understand what is being taken place. So stay prepared, stay fit mentally, physically, to your best ability, and be ready for more changes to come, more things to come. But always keep the Most High at the forefront, okay? Beautiful skies. Beautiful skies. Florida life, baby. Floaters. Indigenous lands. These are our lands. Lands of the milk and honey. I have more videos coming out. I haven't been posting a lot lately, but it's time to start posting more and more. A lot of knowledge is going to be released. Understand that PSYOPs is being at hand. All right. Y'all stay blessed. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.